The bow has the waist is of black velvet. missed also models and dances. And for those very, very special occasions, she is very ready. And this elegant black on black. It's triple layered chiffon with a drop lace. The cap sleeves are sequin. Colored evening dress is made of crepe. The detailing, of course, is black sequins. The slightly puffed sleeves and the subtle slit in back. Now we'll have to ask her to go one more time so that you can see the Lloyd Morton straight art. You know, those of you who are familiar with Lloyd know that he likes bows, and in this case we have a double bow and over that bag. Perhaps you want to add a little pizzazz to your life. Welcome to Marcia. Red, velvet foil, silver sequin bodice. wait till you want to, because that means that the show's almost over. We eat for New York, so we just thought we had a real time. But I had to come out and say thank you very much. You accepted my lecture very well, and you responded very well, and we're really starting to feel like you enjoy having us up here. And that means so much to all the girls backstage. They're going to be coming out in just a moment. And again, I want to remind you that all the tours that we have on this evening is brought to you by Simpson's Boutique. On the back of your program, there is an address and telephone number, and you can contact Ms. Brenda Simpson, who is the proprietor. She would be more than happy to come to your home and have the jewelry party for you. And she will also have outside many of her products so that you can take a closer look at them. Also, our hats in the first portion of our program are brought to you by Shea Lynn, and you'll get to meet the proprietor of that boutique in just a few moments. And we hope that you'll also patronize her. She's right here in Theater Square, directly across from the Crown Hotel on 4th Avenue. Now, they always get mad at me when I do this, but I always feel like I have to do it. I introduced to you Mrs. Lloyd Morton, the mother of our fashion designer. I'd like to do in group, if you will, the rest of this family, with all the members of the Morton family, and some of them have come from a very far distance to be with us this evening. Please stand up so that we can recognize you. Stand up, Mary. Your husband, you had him? Oh, there he is. Brothers in the back, twins, sisters, another brother Norman, and way over here in the corner, oh, his sister Linda, and standing against the wall trying to look like Josie, his father, Mr. Lloyd Morton, Jr. Now, I don't know about you all. I think that any parents that can have 8 children and have all of them come out successful and have them be able to do hair and makeup and clothes really deserves a tremendous round of applause. We got some other relatives that are hiding in the wings, and I'm going to let this go. Hi, Philip. Also, our music coordinator, who is also a relative, Mr. Barrington Morton, Lloyd's Uncle Boogie, we call him. Are you ready for the finale of our fashion experience? Have you had 6 moments? We have something for you that we think you're really going to like. And as we begin, I'd like to share with you my own design. It's hard to describe because I'm doing what kind of system you got to sleep this night. That's all right, Jonathan's home sleeping. My husband's in Dayton, so I can flaunt a little bit. He said it was okay. It's called the innocent look with the flare. That's what Lloyd said. I just read what's on the card. That's why I don't read the card. No, the fabric is actually crepe, and obviously it's white. The sleeves are brocade, so is the silk. And all I can tell you is that I'm sorry that you don't have it on, because it makes me feel like a queen. Lady, are you hiding? chiffon. A 3/4 length party dress with gold lace shots. The drop waist and the sequin treatment at the neck. In every woman's life, there is that one most dreamed about and most treasured occasion. When the Prince Charming, that knight in shining armor, walks down the aisle and says those treasured words, I do. Our bridesmaid, Miss Tammy Shackleton. worn over a narrow underskirt with a split in the back and full cap sleeves. Her headpiece is also of aqua brocade and aqua netting. Our bridesmaid 1986 is wearing ladies and gentlemen, our 1986 bride. Ladies and gentlemen, black and gold for 1986, as we welcome Monette. artists, without all the faithful people who stay back behind the scenes and fluff sleeves and collars and put us in and zip us up and send us off. Ladies and gentlemen, our backstage crew. Responsible for all of the makeup that you've seen this evening, direct from New York City, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Cisco. A man of many, many talents, at least some of which you already heard, as well as seen. Our hairdresser for this evening from New York City, Mr. Lloyd Morton. If I can get my mouth back on stage one last time. Surprise. Our pride, our joy, our heart, our love, our fashion designer, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Lloyd Morton.
and you fall for the hand. But God will bless the child that's got her own. That's got her warmed up for the on that field day, how it's going to sound. on that clear day.
Thank you, thank you. That's what we meant for applause.
Lloyd Morton. He's 24 years old and a native of Louisville, Kentucky. He is a graduate of Fashion Institute of Technology in New York. He started designing clothes when he was 17 years old here in Louisville. He was a high school student at that point, and he won his first design contest, which was sponsored by Bacon's department store. As a result of winning that contest, he got a trip to New York and had his first real opportunity to see what fashion was all about. When we think of fashion, we tend to think of walking into a store and buying what the designers say is in for this season. But there's a lot more involved to fashion than just what you see. And before we begin, I'd like to tell you a little bit about how to go about choosing the look, the style, the color, the fabric, the quality that makes you. First of all, we tend to go along with the trend. If it's short, we wear short. If it's flared, we wear flared. And everybody's not built for short, and everybody doesn't like flared. Why then do you go to a designer? Well, some people say it's a status symbol, and I must admit that here in this country right now, to have somebody's logo, or a name if you will, tattooed on your chest, or your arm, or your derriere, is a status symbol, dark gray or pink. You could wear something bold and still have a subdued look, because fashion is about the total look. Also, when you buy a fashion design, you're looking at quality. I'm going to address this to the ladies, but it's also applicable to the men in the audience. How many of you, when you go into a store to buy an outfit, turn that garment inside out and look at the seams? Aha, that's part of how you determine quality. I'm sure that most of you hear in the news and have read a lot about the recent arrests and indictments and charges and lawsuits over counterfeit products. You know, you can go to some of your local stores and buy a Klein or a Jordache for $19, and you think, now how come I can buy it for $19 over there and it's $58 over here? Obviously, because it's not a real Klein or it's not a real Jordache. And the same goes for any kind of product. So when you go to buy clothes, whether you're buying them from a designer or from a department store, the first thing you need to consider is the quality. Turn those fabrics inside out. Look at the seams. Are they wide? Are they well stitched? If you see a flaw, is it just something that's a matter of too many people trying it on, or is it that the garment itself is not well made? Just because you buy it at the best store in town and pay the highest price doesn't always mean that you're getting the highest quality item. The seams should be wide. They should be well constructed. Look at the zippers. That's a good place to check the seams, the width, and the construction. Look at the sleeves. Look at the hem. Presupposing that you've then found a garment that you like the quality of, how do you determine whether or not it's really worth the price tag? Well, first of all, the quality of the fabric. Right now, you hear a lot about summer clothing in particular, since that's the season that we're in, and you'll notice that a lot of people wear long sleeves in the summer, I for one, and you think, my God, it's 95 degrees outside, how in the world can she stand long sleeves? Well, if you bought an outfit that's made out of a natural fabric, then it's going to be cool, whether it's long sleeve or short sleeve. When I'm talking about natural fabrics, I'm talking about your silks, your 100% cottons, even your 100% wools. And the men can testify to this. When you go into a man's store and buy a suit for the summer, you don't necessarily find something that's not made out of 100% wool. It may be a different weave from the 100% wool of the winter, but it's still 100% wool, and wools are wearable in the summer. So these are things that you need to consider when you're looking at what to buy and how much to spend. Why then again should I go with a fashion designer outfit as opposed to a department store? Well, for one, unless you shop at a boutique, you don't have a lot of flexibility about that price tag. You've got two basic choices. You buy it today at the original price, or you wait, and you watch, and you wait, and you watch, and you hope that it goes on sale and somebody doesn't beat you to it. Now, if you don't work, or if you work really flexible hours and you can go to the same store or through the same store every day at lunch, which I have the kind of flexibility to do, especially people who work downtown. You can walk through the Galleria every day to go lunch, so you can watch that rack and keep an eye on that dress. But most people just don't have the opportunity to do that. And you could come back tomorrow and it's gone. And then you say, oh well, I really didn't need that anyway. Or maybe it wasn't what I was really looking for. Well, don't be dismayed, because you can accomplish the same end. You can buy an outfit, a garment, and you can pay a very reasonable price. And by buying a designer outfit, you generally will have something that is not only applicable to today, but with very modest alterations can be worn this season and next season and even 2 or 3 years from now, because that's what makes a designer outfit different. If the style is longer, you can shorten it. And you're always safe with designer outfits, because if you notice, for the most part, they will go with a very comfortable length, neither the extreme long nor the extreme short. So you're safe. Maybe it's a ruffle this year, and you aren't exactly into ruffles next year. But there's not very much to removing a ruffle and replacing it with a bow or a simple front. And even a garment like what I'm wearing can be removed and replaced with an inset of a contrasting fabric or a different color and create a totally different look. So don't be turned off by the fact that designer items tend to run a little bit more than your everyday garment. Consider it an investment in something that you can wear for a long time, an investment in something that you can look good in for a long time, an investment that will make you feel like the total woman. This afternoon we're going to feature 2 segments. The first one is going to be primarily day wear. It will consist of a lot of combinations of colors and fabrics, lengths and designs, contrast, and lots of other things that I won't tell you about quite yet. The second part of our show will feature after 5 and evening wear, something for those more special occasions, but that you can wear whenever you feel like you want to look good, and that's the image that you want to portray. The other thing I'd like to remind you of this evening is that the makeup and hair for our show has been done by Mr. Lloyd Morton, who happens to be a brother to the designer. You'll be hearing from him a little bit later. And all of the models will be available, as will the clothes, after the show if you'd like to take a closer look at something. So feel free to take notes or jot down the color or the number or the person that's wearing it, and they'll be happy to come back and show it to you later, and you can take a closer look. Also, we're going to try to circulate the models as much as possible, but for those of you who are in aisles off of the front, you may not get the opportunity to touch something. Don't be afraid to stop the model and have them turn around or feel the fabric. And just because someone has on looks like it fits a size 3, and you may not be a size 3, don't let that turn you off. If you see something that looks good, remember what part of it you like, because that part can be adapted to something that will look good on you. A chance to see some of those fashions. So I'm going to ask all the ladies in the audience who are wearing a dress or an outfit that has been designed by Mr. Lloyd Morton to please stand up so that we can see some of the kinds of persons that wear fashions designed by Lloyd. As you can see, we have something for everyone. So now I'd like to ask you to sit back and relax as we present this evening's show all year round, beginning with spring and summer fashions designed and made by Mr. Lloyd Morton. number 3 is Barbara. For that more sophisticated femininity, soft chiffon, again in that cool turquoise color. Layered and turquoise and totally different look, created by Lloyd and worn by Daphne. Now I know that there's a lot of working ladies in the audience, but no matter how boring work is, we can all go in and make an impression. As you can see, our day's work, everybody wants to go out and have a little bit of fun. And in her last, Marty's quite ready for just that. But with that daring look, in big blocks, add a little spice to your life. Perhaps you'd rather be footloose and fancy-free, like Monet. Full, flared freedom. Again with big blocks and a slight flare. And we must always have our bows off-white, which goes with any occasion. Cool and comfortable Barbara. Let's bring back those crisps. Printed by Vassity. Sheena. Now, Lloyd likes to stick with the basics. And what could be more basic than black and white? White rayon and a two-piece outfit. Sophisticated lady in basic black and white. Rayon and chiffon, black and white. You know, we can take a little bit of this and a little bit of that and come up with a whole lot of sophistication and classiness with black and white, worn by Marty. A white linen two-piece outfit, trimmed again with the black and white polka dots. And notice the black and white polka dot trim around the neckline and the sleeves to give that total look. Cool, crisp, Marty. Ruffles, pleats. Two of the oldest and most repeated styles in design, but put together in a very unusual look, modeled by Kathy. A soft, shimmering look that flows with her, and a slight contrast just around the neckline. Kathy. And see what a slight alteration off one shoulder can do as we welcome again, Missy. A different contrast this time as we lighten the ruffled collar and Missy. Schoolgirl flair. Notice this time that the collar is not quite ruffled, just simply laid back. But again, the contrast accentuates the outfit. And the choice of soft fabrics flows as you move for that soft chicness that feels so good when the sun is beaming down and hot. So take the same basic black and white, and this time add a little red for a flare. As we welcome again Marty. In total contrast, red, black, and white. With a laid-back look above the waist, and a slight flare and ruffle at the bottom. Spicy and white. Now, perhaps you consider yourself more of a sly, exotic type. Then add just a hint of color with your black in two pieces, modeled by Sheena. black. Which is bold and startling unto itself. Those summertime evenings when the living is really easy has a name for the ruffled look. Because ruffles and bows tend to add that special look of femininity that we don't ever want to lose. One final look at all the ladies for the first half of tonight's show as we welcome Sheena, Monet, Daphne, Kim, Missy, Kathy, Marty, and Barbara. Mix and match, whatever your heart desires. We guarantee that you'll never be disappointed and you will feel like the total and quite sophisticated lady when you're wearing a fashion designed by Lloyd. Take one last look at our day wear. My name is Vivian. We'd like to invite you to sit back, enjoy the refreshments, and relax. We'll be back in just a moment with part 2, after 5, and evening wear. In the meantime, think about what you'd like to see on yourself when you're wearing a fashion designed by Lloyd.
I know there's something much more, something even non-believers can believe in. Well, I believe in love. I'll feed without true love, just exists. I'll feel until you find the love you've missed. You're nothing. I'll feel when you walk. Let your heart lead the way, and you'll find love anything. I'll feel.
Tantalizing, exciting, exotic, bizarre on occasion, but ever so enjoyable, fashions designed by Lloyd. As we're waiting for our models to approach, I'd also like to inform you that the gentlemen you're seeing this evening are wearing tuxedos provided by Sam Myers Formal Wear here in Louisville, and we'd like to thank them for their contribution to this evening's show. Ladies and gentlemen, if you will, welcome model number 1 in red and black, Monet. Chiffon over satin, satin and chiffon, red and black, exciting, bold, delightful, chiffon and satin in red and black, Monet, in a fashion designed by Lloyd. Don't stop now. Keep those colors coming, red and black. Vivacious red, stimulating black, Sheena. Suave. Almost icy, if you will. Red and black, mix and match, colors and fabrics, fashions in red and black, designed by Lloyd and modeled by Sheena. You know, when we think about the music that's being played in the background, compliments of Mr. Lloyd Morton and his trio, we know that jazz is indigenous to America, the only sound that we can be absolutely sure that is 100% ours. The same applies to the fashions that you're seeing. They're 100% yours, Louisville, designed, created, and made by Louisville's own Mr. Lloyd Morton. Black on black, in black. Short and sassy. That's Kim. Who's young and knows she can afford to show it. She feels good and she lets you know it. You can feel good too. And she will try and fashion designed by Lloyd. A more formal approach. So extend at the bottom and subtract from the top, and welcome Barbara. For a little color in your life. So hang on to your basic black. And what looks better with it than bold gold? Khaki. For that young, very professional look. Now maybe you want to throw your accent in another direction and have a longer, sleeker look, like Missy. Another young college student at home for the summer. She enjoys a variety of hobbies. Without nature's own elements, we'd be in a lot of trouble, so we welcome the earth colors in brown, worn by Daphne. A very sleek and elegant two-piece outfit that is very comfortable and casual, but with that very dressy flair. But at any time, you can call them and stop the models and take a closer look at anything that they're wearing. I'd also like to remind you that all of the clothes that you've seen this evening will be available for closer look and for purchase immediately after the show. You're also welcome to talk to both the models and the creator and designer of these fashions about tips for your own wardrobe. Again, I'd also like to remind you that in this half you will be seeing more of the gentleman approach, something that's a little bit new to our shows. And again, the formal wear that the gentlemen are wearing this evening has been provided by Sam Myers Formal Wear here in Louisville. We like to think of her as the baby of the group, but one could hardly consider her a baby as she comes out in her daring red. Ladies and gentlemen, Kim. Layered, blousy, formal look, worn by Monet. All the right places, sheer elegance. In salmon pink chiffon, worn by Monet. But we'd like to thank them all for their participation and their continued moral support. And if you would, help me, sisters, brothers, aunts, uncles, and other relatives of our designer, Mr. Lloyd Morton. Included in that, and we'd like to give a special round of applause for our musicians, Mr. Barrington Morton, Lloyd's uncle, and the Barrington Morton Trio. Gentlemen. We'd also like to take this opportunity to thank the ladies and gentlemen who have been our hosts, hostesses, backstage helpers, dressers, bartenders, waitresses, and other helpers, compliments of the Seelbach Hotel here in Louisville. Without them, this afternoon would not have been possible. You know, after 5, the evening doesn't have to be long and dull. It can be short and sassy as we welcome Kathy. In a very sassy look, but still shimmering and soft, layers and ruffles flares for the feminine approach. Again, the white contrast to make you very much aware of what you're seeing and what you're getting. A little bit about doing that. Every woman likes to dress up for that truly formal affair. And how better could you spend the evening than in a soft chiffon look. Again in the salmon. That's enough to make you wish you had formals to go to at least once a month. Classy. Cool. But elegant. Salmon pink with bows. Daphne. But one who is aspiring and has been professionally modeling for quite some time. Ladies and gentlemen, Sheena. You know, they say you're only as old as you feel. And that can go in both directions as we welcome again Kim. The peach color, Again with the gold painted top. That brings out the elegance that's in each one of you. Kim. That each one of us aspires for. Some of us have already been there, and it's an occasion you never forget. For those of you who are still hoping to get there, don't give up. And be prepared as we welcome Missy and our first male model of the evening, Mr. James Coleman. Now, maybe you prefer to be a more traditional bride. Ah, the memories that it brings back, or the dreams that it holds for those of us who are still waiting. Those of you who are still waiting, I'm sorry. I did it already, didn't I? Ladies and gentlemen, our bride and groom of the evening, Marty and Lincoln. One final look at our bride and groom. Once again, I'd like to remind you that all of the gentlemen in our show this evening have been wearing formal wear provided by Mr. Sandmeyers. For those of you that may have missed it, my name is Vivian Wall, commonly called Miss D, and I too get to wear fashions designed by Lloyd. Would you help me as we introduce finally our models, Monet. Miss Monet Davis, Miss Sheena Mullen, Miss Barbara Briggs, Miss Kim Jones, Miss Kathy Cole Smith, Miss Jackie Hardy, Miss Missy Miller, Mr. James Coleman, Miss Marty Glass, and Mr. Lloyd Morton. Again, we'd like to thank all of the persons who have helped us backstage, trusting, dressing, and preparing for you the fashions that you think designed by Lloyd. Our musicians, Mr. Barrington Morton and his trio, the family, relatives, and friends of the Morton family that have given us moral support as well as financial and all other kinds of support. Ladies and gentlemen, take one final look at these fashions designed by Lloyd. Again, our music this evening has been provided by Miss Vicki True and the brother of our designer, Mr. George E. Morton, Jr. We'd like to thank Sam Myers, the Seelbach Hotel, and all of you. And now, it is my pleasure, as always, to present the moment we've been waiting for as we welcome the creator and designer of these fashions, Mr. Lloyd Morton. Creativity at its best, Lloyd. Thank you.